Hey YouTube, Tweak here, bringing you guys an update to my Gusto deck profile for December 2016. A couple of you requested that I make an update to this deck. I think the last time I did update this deck was back in May, so it's been a good while since the last update, so I figured why not. It's a really cool deck. The main focus of it is synchro summoning using your Gusto human monsters with their beast counterparts. So let's go ahead and jump right in. As for the Gusto lineup, not much has changed for that. I still run 3 Winda, Priestess of Gusto. Most of the main Gusto monsters have the effects of when they're destroyed by either battle, card effect, or both. You can special summon another relevant Gusto monster. So with Winda, when she's destroyed by an opponent's attacking monster, you can special summon one Gusto tuner from your deck. So your main 2 targets that you'll grab with Winda are Egal and Guldo, which I also respectively run 3 of. I run 3 Egal. Its effect is when this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon one non-tuner level 4 or lower Gusto monster from your deck. So you can grab most of the humanoid Gusto monsters with his effect. You can grab Winda, Cam, Pilica, whatever the situation calls for. So he's good setup in that case. And I also run 3 Guldo. He is the level 3 tuner, and when this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can special summon one level 2 or lower Gusto monster from your deck. So you can grab either Egal or Winda with Guldo's effect, and you also have a couple more options with him. He also is able to make a good loop with them, because basically you can, if Guldo is destroyed, you can go into either Egal or Winda, and then if they're destroyed, grab another counterpart. The only thing you have to remember is with Winda, your opponent has to attack them. So if you're going to do things with Freeze's synchro ability, like attack in, you have to make it last, because once you attack with Winda, the chain is broken. And also run 3 Pilica. She has the effect when this card is normal or special summon, you can target one wind tuner monster in your graveyard, special summon that target in face-up defense position. Its effects are negated, and if you activate this effect, you cannot special summon monsters for the rest of the turn except for wind monsters. You can only use this effect once per turn. So the fact that it says normal or special summon is really good, because you can get her off of emergency teleport and then use her effect, or any other effect that would special summon her. So it's an easy access to synchro summons, because with Guldo you'll have level 6, and with Egal you'll have level 4, and it's just good combination variant there. She can also, with Freeze, add back a card, so you can reuse her off of that, which is why I do like maxing her out. She just helps so much with your combo plays. And I also run 2 Kamui, Hope of Gusto. It's a simple effect. When it's flipped, you special summon one Gusto tuner from your deck. So you can get either Guldo or Egal. So once again, more setup. If he survives the turn you zet him and you flip him up yourself, there's a synchro summon right there for you to use. And also run 2 Cam, Serenity of Gusto. Once per turn, you can return 2 Gusto monsters from your graveyard to your deck to draw a card. So she helps you replenish needed cards back into the deck with this effect, while also keeping hand consistency. She's also a special summon target off of Egal, so you're making it very easy for you to get her. And also 2 Rees, Whirlwind of Gusto. Most of the time you have to tribute to get her out. Once per turn, you can return 1 card from your hand to the bottom of the deck to target 1 monster your opponent controls, and 1 face-up Gusto monster you control. Switch control of those monsters. So you can even switch Reese herself with your opponent's monster. If your opponent only has 1 monster and you have her, swap control, then destroy Reese, because she will make better use of for you in your graveyard than she will on your opponent's field, and you'll be happy with one of your opponent's strong monsters. And I also run 1 Gusto Thunbolt. One of this card, just because it's a searcher mostly for Cam and Rees. It doesn't have any special effects, which is why I don't like to run more of it. If it did have a special summon effect, I would definitely max him out. If he special summoned Rees or Cam, definitely would be a top contender in the deck. And that's it for the Gusto monsters. I also still continue to run the Speedroid variant. It just helps so much with the speed of the deck. No pun intended. If you control no monsters, you can special summon this card from your deck. It's pretty explanatory what Terratop does. The special summon and search effect, and then you can go for Tekken Tomborg or Triad Dice for either the Synchro or the Exceed play that you prefer. Like I said, it just helps with a lot of speed to the deck. And that is it for the monsters. We'll move on to spells. We're down to one emergency teleport, sadly now. I was hit off the ban list, but it really did help with a lot of the plays in the deck. It makes me sad when I have to see cards, get hit for other decks just because of their overuse in other decks. But like I said, it did slow down the deck a bit, but I tried to speed it up as much as I can. I'm also running now one Soul Charge. Graveyard plays. There's a lot of monsters in the graveyard that you can make use of, so Soul Charge is a definite must in this deck, especially since you don't pay life for a lot of other cards, except if you were to get hit with monster battles. And I also run 2 Miracle Synchro Fusion. I like running the Ultimate Axon kicker play with the deck, which is why I like running this. And you can also set it and bait your opponent out, and if they MST it or Twin Twister it, you draw a card. And also 1 Mind Control, just because you can make use of a lot of your opponent's monsters for synchro plays with the deck. 2 creature swaps, just because you can get your opponent's monsters. It's kind of like a backup Reese effect, in the fact that when they're destroyed and sent to your graveyard, you'll special summon them on your side of the field. So if you give them something like a Gull or a Guldo, you'll be able to attack into it and get something else on your side of the field. So give them a Guldo or a Gull to benefit you. And 2 Dark Holes, once again for the fact that if you destroy some of your monsters, it's not that big of a concern, and you'll still clear their board as well. And 1 Upstart Goblin as well, just for that extra draw power. Like I said, this and Soul Charge are the 2 best things that help me fill in for the power loss of Emergency Teleport. And now for traps, still running 3 Fiendish Chain. I like the card personally because it stops, negative monster effects. Like if my opponent has a monster that says, I can't activate anything during the damage step, that really screws over a lot of my Gusto monsters. So Fiendish Chain helps with that. If you have Solemn Strikes and you prefer to run those instead, by all means, swap them out for this. It's just my personal preference for people that can't get strikes. And also 1 Solemn Warning and 1 Bottomless for traps. And I'm also running 1 Compulsory Evacuation Device, just because for the swap effect, I do like that, when you return a monster, if it's one of my monsters that I originally gave them, it'll return to my hand. So I think that's a pretty cool play. And now for the extra deck, I run 1 Daigusto Guldo. This card pops face-up cards your opponent controls, face-up monsters by shuffling 2 Gusto monsters from my graveyard back into the main deck. Eagles has pretty much the same concept, except it targets 1 face-down card my opponent controls. It doesn't have to be a monster, it could be anything that's set, which I think is really nice. I only have 1 Daigusto Freeze at the moment. I would run 2. She is an OTK card, so very important in the deck. I would take out the Falco for her if I had her. Like I said, any damage I would take with Gusto monsters, my opponent takes instead, and she can't be destroyed by battle. So by doing the Gall and Guldo loop with her, I can pretty much go for games since they're all low attack monsters. And I also run 1 Mistbird Clausulus. I like to run a variety of wind monster levels in this deck just to help. 1 Haster, 1 Chambara, 1 Clearwing, and Stardust Dragon, and Mistworm. For the Exceed monsters, I like to run Daigusto Phoenix for the level 2 plays, Totemberg for the level 3, Castel for the level 4, along with El Morale, and I also run the Ultimate Axon Kicker. I misplaced them, but I would also run Lightning Chidori and Leviar. It's basically your preference of the 15 card extra deck, what you would prefer to take out for them. But other than that, they would make also great additions to the deck. But yeah, that's it for the deck profile. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and Kira Twig out.